Hey everybody, it's Max J. Miller. I'm the co-author with Robert Hollis of an upcoming book called How Is That Working? And the last couple of days I have shared with you about the subject of faith or belief. And yesterday I said I wanted to demystify faith and belief. And I was referring to a book that was very instrumental in Robert Hollis's early formation as an entrepreneur, and it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in it, he lays out a formula for building an empire or, pursuing a dream. And that formula consists of 5 parts. And the first part is a definite purpose, a clear purpose. And the second is desire. The passion and desire as an all-consuming obsession is what Napoleon Hill said. Really wanting it to happen. The third is clear plans to fulfill one's definite purpose. The fourth is determination, and this is what I've been speaking of the last couple of days. Determination is how the outside world looks at you and says, oh, that guy's really determined. He is going to make it happen. But on the inside, that's what we refer to as faith. That's what we refer to as belief. And he spoke of it as the unwillingness to recognize failure. In other words, if you absolutely won't, even consider the possibility of failure, that's what we're talking about. That's the belief that we're talking about. But it's not a mystical faith. It's not this, it's just simply determination. It's just simply, this shall be. I love the quote by Jim Rohn, who says, I'm going to climb this mountain. This is my mountain to climb. You're either going to see me at the top, or you'll see me dead at the side from trying. And I didn't quote that perfectly, but the idea is just that it's really putting things at stake and saying, this is going to happen and I'm going to give myself to it committedly. So those 5 things are what it takes, but here's the thing. Somebody asked me today, what if I don't have purpose? What if I don't have a clear sense of purpose? Well, I would say, by all the research that I have made into the hero's journey, and the great stories and the traditions that have been passed down in literature, the great movies, not all of the heroes start out their journey with a great sense of destiny and purpose. Luke Skywalker simply wanted to get off of the boring, farm that he was on, and he wanted to get out and experience some adventure. But he didn't plan when he left to save the free world from, the Death Star, which is what he did in the movie Star Wars. So not everybody starts out with that clear sense of purpose. Nevertheless, purpose in the long run, looking back, is always involved in any great enterprise. In fact, I argue that every great business is driven more by purpose. Steve Jobs want to make a ding in the universe, wanting to make computers accessible to everyday people and so forth. Those kinds of, passions drove Steve Jobs and Apple Computer more than just the bottom line. Anybody who thinks the bottom line in business is always profit is really confused about what entrepreneurial business is really driven by. So it's not necessary to have a clear sense of purpose to begin. And, there's so many great examples of things that have started from people who, life just happened to them. I tell the story about Dr. Bob Pierce, who started World Vision. And how did that great empire begin? Well, it began when he was in a village one day and somebody handed him an orphan and said, you got to take care of it because he doesn't have parents or any family to take care of him. And that was the beginning of it all. So you may not now have a sense of purpose or clarity that way, but Robert didn't start out with a real clear sense of purpose either. He certainly didn't start out with plans, and he didn't start out with success consciousness either. He got in the sphere of a mentor who infused him with that success consciousness. So maybe that's where you need to begin right now. You know, if you don't have a sense of purpose, get around somebody who does. And you know, I also ask people to reflect and consider what their life has actually been a laboratory for. What they have learned. We all too easily devalue what it is that life has taught us. But somebody else will find what you've learned in life very, very valuable. So try giving it away. See if you can't, you know, provide it as a service to somebody, even start writing it, or as I have done, or whatever your story is. See if you can't turn it into something of value to somebody else, and see what happens building a business. Anyway, thanks for interacting with me on my fan page, and thanks for listening. I appreciate your questions and all your interaction and your attention. Bye-bye.